Hello guys, good morning. You can tell I literally just woke up. My landlady didn't allow me to leave early, so when I was trying to start, she caught me and then she held onto me, so I had to make sure I get her back to sleep. There's a good chance she's going to be up crashing the party, so don't worry. Good morning, everybody. Mr. Akani Oluwaseun and Waganga Emmanuel. If today is your first time tuning in, I want to acknowledge you. Let us know where you are watching from today. If today is your first time. If today is your first time, let us know where you're watching from, okay? Mary Onia, greetings, sir, greetings to you, Mary. If today is your first time tuning in, welcome to Choco Millionaire. Let us know where you're watching us from. If you're watching from East Africa, let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching from North Africa, let us know. Okay. Oladele Shola, Samuel from Nigeria, Ijebu, Ode, nice. Emmanuel, greetings. Ike, how are you doing? Ike, Nyaks, greetings from Ghana. John Mercy, you're all the way from Tanzania, East Africa, John. Okay. Abdullahi, Nigeria. Elijah Ba, okay. Elijah has a question. Express entry. Do you need any certificate? Okay. Victor Tor. Mary says, I've been watching your videos, watching from Nigeria. Thank you, Mary. You are doing a great job, sir. Thank you, Mary. If you have not left me a review on my page, I appreciate what you're typing here. I'll appreciate if you can also post it under the review session. It helps other people see my content as relevant. So guys, if you haven't dropped me a review, I will appreciate if you can do it. And I'm going to show you guys how to drop me a review, okay? I'm going to show you how to drop me a review, so you can easily do that for me. Abdul Aziz Abdul Kadir from Ghana. Caribbean island, that's great. Watching from the Caribbean island. Your name disappeared, so I missed that. Chidility Emmanuel, is there any way I can have a DM chat with you? You can send a message to my DM, my page DM. There is a good chance it's going to be part of about 1,000+ of messages waiting, so it might take a while, but still go ahead and send me that, okay? Yeah. Your questions can also come to me off. If it's after this live show, you can post them on my YouTube channel. Amavi Jimama, good afternoon, my brother. Good morning here. It is 8:42 a.m. Daniel Kwa, your brother from Nigeria. Admola Joe from Nigeria. Thank you. Guys, I'm going to show you guys briefly how to leave me a review. Your review is greatly appreciated. It is how Facebook sees my page as relevant. So let me show you guys how to leave me a review, okay? So basically, what you're going to do is to type Choco Millionaire like this. You see? When you type Choco Millionaire, it takes you to my page like this. Now, you see where it says home, right? Home. There is a place here where it says review. So basically, you're going to click on the review. And then it's going to ask you, do you recommend Choco Millionaire? You say yes or no. If you recommend, you click on yes. If you don't like my page, you click no and you give reasons why, so that Facebook doesn't show my content to other people. But guys, you can see some of the reviews here. Look at your review. This came from John Stressless Maths about 10 minutes ago. He is a very reliable source of information regarding scholarships in Canada. John, thank you so much, okay? My baby is crying, so bear with me. Mommy is taking care of baby. Ayola Oluwas Tosin commented yesterday around 7:57. This is a great page to get information about moving to Canada, either through studying or express entry. The live video sessions are wonderful and questions can be asked directly. Thank you for the wonderful work. Thank you so much, Ayola. All right. He gives very educative and helpful information to students who want to study in Canada. This is from Obin Sarkodie Clifford Damte. Chinonso DK, thank you so much. I recommend my page, and he talks about how you can study work, get your residence permit in Canada, as well as how systems work in Canada. And you attach your photo. So let's see your photo. Beautiful photo. Can you see that? He even sent us his photo so we can enjoy that. Thank you so much, sir. Life is good. May you have more of this cars, huh? All right, let me go back. Martin Obi Tinko, Mr. Choco Millionaire, is a motivational speaker. He has a strong desire to empower the young entrepreneurs to gain speedy support through a functional environment based on educational activity. Martin Obi Tinko, thank you so much. Okay, keep the good work. And he said from Martin Obi, director, the Leo Property Merchant in South Africa. Thank you so much. Okay, keep the good work and may God reward you for your good efforts to humanity. Thank you so much, Martin. Henry Ebenezer, your sessions have been the best, and I love it. Keep it up, sir. God bless you. Henry Ebenezer, thank you so much. All of this from yesterday. Majestic, Chris Benedict Ebube. What an amazing personality. Humble, cheerful, polite, and erudite speech. You are indeed an amazing brother. Keep it up. All right. Good job, sir. Your topics are very educative and much appreciated. Okay. Ayo Ajayi. This page is so nice and helpful. I recommend it. Mohammed Lamin from Sierra Leone, my friend, who wants to come here as a truck driver. He's saying this platform has really learned us a lot. Thanks for the great assistance. Let us share to others. Thank you so much. As Onolu Menosen Hope says, how can I get Canada visa? Please, this one is not necessarily a write-up about the page. It's a question, but he still recommends my page. Thank you. Toyin Adebayo, amazing content. He has brought Canada closer to Africans. So guys, this is where the review session is. All the good messages you write to me, if they find themselves here, it helps my page. And it helps many people find my page the way you did. You can also share my content so that it can go to many people as well, okay? All right, so I just showed you how to find a review button on my page. And I'll be extremely happy if you guys can drop a review to help others. When I come online live, I'm going to try to read some of your reviews so people can see what you think about me. Reviews are so important. You know why? It helps people know whether a page is fake, good, or not good. It's like the reviews that you look for when you are applying to a school. It helps you to know whether the school is a good school or it is not a good school, you see? So I encourage you guys to use review buttons if they are available. It helps all of us to see if the person is doing a good job or the person that doesn't deserve to be followed by others, okay? All right, good afternoon, Don Richard. So let's go straight to today's session. We are following up on express entry. We started the last time. Before we start again, I request your prayer for at least 2 of my top followers, those fans who are not well. One is going for a procedure. The other is currently in a hospital, and you haven't seen them on the page. I request that if you're a prayerful person, you say a prayer for them, and let us hope that the 2 ladies join us back safely, okay? I do pray for them, and I want you to also pray for them if you don't mind. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Michael Olufemi, thank you so much. The doctor that delivered my baby, the name is almost like your name, Your name is almost like yours. All right, Michael. Kuku Black, welcome. Good afternoon, sir. All right. Victor Tor say I will do that immediately after this live. Nice reason why I enjoy every bit of your session spent with you. Thanks very much. Thank you, Victor, for telling us you're going to drop me a review as well. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So I'm on YouTube as well. I have about 60 videos that I have made in the last 3 weeks alone, and they are all available on my YouTube channel. My name on YouTube is the same. It is Choco Millionaire. I have actually shared a post earlier today where I posted a link for my YouTube channel. But if you go on YouTube and you type Choco Millionaire and you see about 60 videos with people asking me questions back and forth, that is obviously my page. It should say Choco Millionaire, and you should see me wearing suit, standing with a black background, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, now let's go straight to today's topic, express entry. We started express entry 3 days ago, and we said we are going to do a series, meaning that we are not able to cover everything at a go. So we're going to do it in batches so that you guys can really follow. Okay, now I must say that express entry is becoming one of the fastest way that people use to migrate to Canada. Express entry. Now basically what express entry does is that you can apply from any part of the world. There is no restriction on your location. You can apply from China, you can apply from Qatar or UAE, United Arab Emirates, Brazil, Jamaica, Caribbean island, anywhere. You can apply from Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Kenya, Rwanda, anywhere, Iraq, anywhere you can apply. So long as you are eligible. You don't need to be in Canada to apply. You don't need to be in your original country where you are. You can basically be in any part of the world and apply for it, okay? Now, before you apply to express entry, you must know whether you are eligible or not. Express entry targets transferable, global, skilled people. Transferable, globally skilled people, or people who have certain skills that are globally important and considered relevant today. And these people can prove that their skill set was acquired through training and work experience. If you can prove that your skill set is relevant and you acquired this skill set through education, training, and you have job experience or work experience for this, express entry is good for you. When we started, we said that there is a way to check if you are eligible for express entry by using what we call the express entry point calculator. It is available on Google, express entry point calculator. If you Google that, you can also check the previous video. You're going to find a link in there. Basically, when you use that, it's going to ask you a couple of questions about yourself, your education, your level of education, whether you are married or not married. And then it will also ask you if you've taken a language test, an English language test or a French language test, which is a requirement. You cannot go around applying for that express entry without completing a language test. We're saying that you need to show proof that you've done a language test. And then after all of that, if your score falls within some of the most recent scores that are used to call people, to invite people to apply, there is a good chance you can start out creating a profile and putting your documents together to apply for express entry. So we just did a little bit of the introduction. Today we are going to go a step further so you can understand. I showed you guys how to I showed you guys how you should check your score. I gave you the link. We actually did it together and we saw the score that I had the last time, 402. Now, express entry scores are put in a pool. Your score is put in a pool. Basically, the pool is a pool of different people applying at the same time as you. And basically, the people who make the minimum score receive an invitation to apply. Canada accepts application from people who are within Canada and people who are outside of Canada. Before the pandemic, you could apply from any part of the world. That is, if you are a resident in Canada and you want to use express entry to become a permanent resident, or if you are living outside of Canada. I also did mention that because the pandemic started and got seriously bad, they put on hold applications from outside Canada. They haven't resumed it as we speak today. But all indications show that Canada is going to start the receiving applications from outside Canada very soon for Express Entry. So anybody who has the points and the points show that you are within the range of people who could be given the invitation to apply, it's a good time that you start preparing your documentation and gathering things ready, so that the moment they open it for people who are outside Canada to apply, you can easily check that. Yesterday, I got a comment from somebody who said he did his Express Entry check and he had a 502 score. That is pretty expensive. 502 sounds like almost that person is ready to, you are likely to get your ITA, your invitation to apply, when you create your profile. Now, the current applications that are being received for Express Entry are only for people who are living in Canada at the moment because of the pandemic. So if you are living in Canada and you are applying through what is called a Canadian Experience class or the provincial nominee, which are two types of application modes to do Express Entry in Canada, okay? It wouldn't apply to you guys. It only applies to anybody within Canada. These are the people whose applications are currently being received. How often do they hold a draw? We said they hold a draw every 2 weeks, or I should say every 15 days. They do hold a draw where they will publish the minimum score that they're going to use to invite people to apply. So it is in your interest to keep checking. You don't need to contact anybody to do that. You can actually Google most recent Express Entry draw. Most recent Express Entry draw. And it's going to tell you the most recent one that was done. I believe it was in July 9th or so. So this week they might do another draw this week. Okay. The most recent one was on July 9th. And the score that they used was, I believe, less than 400 points. Meaning that anybody within Canada who had less than 400 points has a chance to be called to apply for Express Entry. All right. Now, Fola Shade Olua Shui is asking, how can I score myself? Go watch my previous video. There is a link that you can use to check your score. Somebody also has a question. Do I have to pay to check my score? It's free. It's a tool which is free. Just type Express Entry Point Calculator. Express Entry Point Calculator on Google and look for the one that is coming from the official website of the Government of Canada. Okay, so you should say gc.ca, gc.ca. That means it's coming from the official Government of Canada website. Use that link to check your score by filling out the information. Be very honest with the information you put there. If you are married, say you are married. Because if you lie about these things, they are going to find out. There are certain things you can't change. Your job and your number of years. Those things are not things you can easily manipulate, right? But remember, the only thing you can play around is your language score. You can play around with the numbers. The minimum score they are looking for is 7 for each category of your language test, right? We said those who come from English-speaking countries are to take IELTS, which is IELTS, IELTS, which is IELTS language test. IELTS basically stands for International English Language Testing System. International English Language Testing System, IELTS. It is a mandatory exams that everybody has to take if they are applying from outside Canada. There is also a second English test called CELPIP, C-E-L-P-I-P, C-E-L-P-I-P. CELPIP is organized by Canada, but it is only restricted to some countries. For example, you can take CELPIP if you are applying from Canada, or you can take CELPIP if you are applying from the US, or you can take CELPIP if you are applying from India. You can take CELPIP if you are applying from the United Arab Emirates as well. These are the few countries where you can take your CELPIP exams. If you are outside of these countries, you are not allowed to take CELPIP. You must take the IELTS if you are from an English-speaking country. There is also a Francophone version of the test for people who speak French. This is called TEF, TEF, Testo l'examination francophone. Testo l'examination francophone, TEF. This is solely for those who take their exams in French or from Francophone countries like Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Benin Republic, right? All right, now that is a language test. You need to score for your out. You need to score a minimum of 7 out of the 10 in order to be eligible. We're going to go into the details of some of these things today. Now, let me give you a preview about what you expect from the beginning to the end of your application. I'm going to go through all the things. So if you have a pen, I recommend you write it down. Okay, Munga Lewis, welcome today, my brother from Algeria. All right, the draw is every 2 weeks. Actually, it's not every week. Elvis Ikena is every 2 weeks, which is 15 days. Okay, they hold the draw for the score to invite people every 2 weeks. All right, guys. I'm from Dubai and I need a language test, and I'm from Nigeria. Which one do I take? It's your choice. Martin Mess, your choice is to make the decision whether you want to take the IELTS or CELPIP. You must choose which one you want to do. Because you are applying from Dubai, you have an option to choose which one you want. But I would say check the 2 tests and see which one is you are easier to study and take those ones. Okay. All right, guys. Let me go through the steps from step 1 all the way to the very last end so that you guys know how the entire process for your express entry is going to look like. I must say that the steps can be a little bit exhaustive, or from the start to the end. It might feel like something that might take a while. That is why a lot of people who don't have this information pay immigration travel agents to help them out. This same information I'm sharing with you can cost you a lot of money. Don Richard, bro, please, how possible is it for an European permanent resident holder to move into Canada? It's very possible. That's a simple answer I can say. The most important thing is they are not going to treat you differently. They are going to treat you like somebody who needs to go through the same process. So go through the score, put your information there, and based on the score you get, it's all about the score. They don't discriminate. They don't say you are from Europe, so you get a better chance. Like, they will just give you a score based on the information you give them. All right. Guys, I'm saying that this information I'm sharing, yeah, it is hot cake. Not because I'm the only one who has access to it, but because those who don't have this information but want to do express entry will likely go and pay somebody to give them this information. This is where the travel agents make the money. This is where you don't know and you don't know what to do, and then they are looking for you to just charge you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 just to give you the information. And some of them will even actually assist you with it. So I'm recommending that you take the information seriously. Go and do your own research. I am not an immigration consultant. I'm just a friendly neighbor and a brother from Africa who believes in sharing without charging. Okay, so I recommend that you write as much as possible. Take the information I give you as information that can just help you as tips, and go and do your own research. I am not an immigration consultant. I am not going to do your applications for you. I'm not going to assist you beyond what I share. So those of you who will send me DMs hoping that I can even do the applications for you, I don't do that. I don't charge a fee. You are going to do your own thing. You're going to use the information I'm going to give you. It is possible to apply without paying anybody. If you have $1,000 or $2,000 and you feel like you want somebody else to do it for you, that is your choice. Go and pay. This information is for people who don't have the money or want to save money, and they want to be able to run and do their own research using the little information they get. Okay, so let me go through the process. For you to start your IELTS exams, in case you didn't even catch the session the last time, this is basically how the whole entire step is going to look like. Step number 1. Check your express entry score using the comprehensive ranking system, CRS, comprehensive ranking system. That is the first thing to do. Check your score. The score is not to say you have applied. The score is not to say you started the application, not at all. The score is just to give you an idea, to measure yourself, to see whether you are close to the most recent score that they are using, like 400 and something, or maybe 400 points. The score is just to give you an idea, to test to see whether you are there. The score doesn't mean you have started the application at all. Guys, get it right. So if you check your score, you are not in the record of the government of Canada. They don't even know you. The score is just to check and see whether you are there or you are not there, whether you can apply or you can apply. That's the first thing to do. Check your express entry score. Number 2, make sure you check your ability to pass the language test. Make sure you check your ability to pass the language test. What does that mean? They are going to check your ability to pass a language test. They are going to ask you to provide proof that you've taken the language test of IELTS or CELPIP or TEF if you are the Francophone type. You need to find a way to check that you can take that language test. How can you do that? First, the CELPIP score, the IELTS score that they are looking for is 7 out of 10 across board. CELPIP, the IELTS test is on 7 out of 10. That's the minimum they are looking for. IELTS is in 4 categories: listening, reading, writing, speaking. Listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Somebody is saying share the video, guys. Thank you so much for reminding people to share. Remember, people who don't share simply don't want others to hear about it. And they often wonder, when they come across good things, they say, thank God I found you. No, somebody shared. That's how you found me. Share and share and share. We have 127 online now. Imagine if everybody's sharing. It means many more people get to find this information without needing to go and pay an immigration agent. You didn't find this because it was a miracle. Somebody shared and it got to you. Please share. Please share. All right. Richie Godwin, I did mine and then I had 505. That sounds like your score is actually above, provided the information you provided is all genuine, except from your language test where you can actually score less or more based on what you entered. Right? Let us know, what did you enter for your language test when you were there? IELTS. What did you enter? Richie, let us know what you entered for your language test. Okay. So, guys, you need to score. IELTS is out of 9. I think IELTS is out of 10, actually. IELTS is out of 10. Let me know if I'm wrong. I think it's, when I did mine, it was out of 10. It was out of 10. So let me know if this has changed, okay? If anybody is more experienced with IELTS and they think it is out of 9 instead of 10, let me know. All right. So you need to prove that you scored good on your language test. That is the thing you need to. Now, the language test is not free, guys. It costs money to take the language test. An average of $250 is required to take the language test. Sorry, in Canada, we pay $250 to take the IELTS. It might be different from your country. The IELTS exams is organized by the British Council if you are outside of Canada, or it is organized by institutions that are licensed to do this. You will need to register. You will need to go take the exams. This is not an exam you should take lightly. I'm going to talk more about these exams. And guys, if you are from Francophone countries and I'm speaking more about IELTS, forgive me. I am from an English-speaking country and my French is very weak. That is why I'm focusing more on this. Let me talk about the language test, guys. You see, there are so many aspects of the express entry application that you cannot easily manipulate. You cannot easily change them. But your language test is the one thing you have the power to change by scoring and studying good. I'm going to say this again. There are so many aspects of the express entry information you provide that is not easy to change or manipulate or, go around. But the language test is the one thing that you have control to actually change. When I say change, it doesn't mean with your hand only. It means you can actually study and go and take the results and make sure you get a good result. Now, amazingly, the higher you score on your language test, the more points you get. I'm going to say this again. The higher you score on your language test, the more points you get for your express entry score. So, if Richie, who got his 505, has scored 999 or 8.5, 8.5, and 9. Okay, currently it is out of 9. Thank you for clarifying that IELTS is now out of 9. If Richie scored 9 out of 9 or 8.5 out of 9, Richie will get more score than me if I score 7, 7, 7, 7. I recommend that before you register for your IELTS, you do a lot of preparation. Guys, there are free materials to help you prepare for your IELTS. I know people who go register for their IELTS without being ready for it. Now money where they go waste though. You're just going to waste money. And remember when you fail that exams, they will never accept your application. Read my lips well. They will never accept your application for express entry if you don't pass that exams. That exam is non-negotiable. Please listen and listen carefully. If you do not pass your IELTS exams, forget about express entry. There is no way around it. Even if you pray and do fasting, forget it. No be something where they take joke. That one is a must, non-negotiable. If all the categories, score 7, 7, 7. If even one of them, say, speaking, you had 8. Reading, you had 8. Listening, you had 7. But one of them, you only had 6.5. You must take the whole exams again. That's how serious it is. You must actually take the whole exams again. If in one category you score below 7, you must go and pay the money, another $250 or $300 or whatever you paid, and retake the exams. So I'm going to say this. The language test is not something you joke with. And remember, the more you score, the more points you get. So those who are going to put in a lot of effort to study these exams have a better chance of accumulating more points than those who approach it lackadaisically. I know some of you watching me now, you are going to be rushing tomorrow to go and register without going to study. You know that you've been home, out of school for a long time, and your brain has already been sleeping for a long time, like oil where they don't put, palm oil where they don't put for top. You won't study. I know some of you are going to rush yourself and go and just register. Go and do it. And when you finish, go and say, you lost your money, your life savings is gone. No, don't go and study. Meanwhile, I said it over and over again. Language test is not a joke. They don't joke with it. Now, the way Canada, they won't check whether you feel communicate well if they allow you to come to this country. They don't want to bring somebody who go come. We're going to do MMMML. You speak Yoruba. You speak Tree. Do you speak where? I'm from Africa. Do you speak? They don't want to hear that too. They won't make sure say you show them, say you pass. They don't want to bring you here. They don't want to bring you here. Where you can't talk, say a language, they make it difficult for you to get what. So listen them carefully. You cannot manipulate your age. You cannot say you are 30 years old. It shows on all your documents that you are 30 years old. You just can't go and change and say you are now 27. They will catch you. If it's in your passport already, they will catch you. You cannot just change your number of years of work experience. If you genuinely want to do a genuine application, they will find out from your number of years of work experience. You cannot change your credentials academically. Say you have HND. Say you have a first degree. Say you are a medical doctor trained. How do you easily change that within 2 months and manipulate it? You can't, unless you're a fraudulent person. But you see, IELTS is the only thing you can change by studying. Did you hear that part? Did you catch the vision there? You cannot easily manipulate your age. You cannot easily manipulate your certificate from school. You cannot easily even manipulate how many years and where you've worked. But there is one thing you can easily manipulate, your language test. How do you manipulate that? Study to show thyself approved. Study. Even before you go and register, I beg, study. There are free videos on YouTube. In fact, if you go to the official website of British Council and you type IELTS, you're going to see that they have free resources there to help you prepare so that you can see how the exams is conducted. Now, unless you are a super brilliant person, guys, you can see how much time Abe Kukwik is saying, talking from the heart and serious too. I'm talking about this. So me, when I was doing my own application for permanent resident, I had to take IELTS exams, even though I was living in Canada. Guys, my own narrow escape, at the time when I did mine, the minimum score that I needed was 6.0. At the time I did mine. Can you believe that? I did well on all the other areas. I did well. Speaking, I think I had 9. Writing, I did so good. Writing, oh my goodness. I remember I wrote about the military leader, why do I did the former military general who is now a president of Nigeria, Buhari. I wrote about Buhari when I was doing my writing. I said I admired him. Now I no more admire him because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. I no more admire. I changed my mind. I wrote about him. They asked me, write about a personality you admire, and I wrote about Buhari. I should have written about Giannis Antetokounmpo, who just won the NBA now. Hi. I wrote about Buhari. Guys, I did all in each of the categories except one category, listening. For some reason, my listening no good though. I'm the type that if this radio here is playing and it's saying something and I listen and I try to answer the question, the moment I miss one thing that they say in the radio, instead of me to follow and continue what they are saying next, I tend to focus on what I miss and I will be thinking about it. And before you realize, I end up missing the rest of the information that follows it. That was my weakness when I was doing my listening. So for me, listening was my biggest weakness. I narrowly escaped. Can you imagine I had 6.0 and the minimum score was 6.0? Meaning if I had gotten -1 less, I would have to go and pay that money again. That money is always a lot of money. I don't mind if you are in Africa or not. $250, $300 is a lot of money. Don't go waste it. Don't go waste it. Study well. Before you even register, make sure you've given yourself time. Before you register for your language test, make sure you've done your score and you are confident that your score is good based on the recent entry scores that they are using to call people. You are confident that you check and you think your score is good, meaning that it's either above or is looking good. Like the gentleman who had 505, that is an extremely good score. If his documents and information is legit, this man will get an invitation to apply. He will. All he has to do is go and take the language test and do well. What is the preparation time for somebody to take an IELTS? The average preparation time is about 2 months. Meaning that if you decide to take the IELTS exams, you need to give yourself about 2 months to study. Recognize yourself, know yourself well. We are not the same. We are different people, different level of aptitude, different level of IQ, different level of memory recollection. Some of us have been out of school for 15 years, no schooling. You've been chasing money. You've been chasing cities. You've been chasing Kenyan shillings. You've been chasing Naira and Kobo. You've not opened anything. You've not done anything academically. Your brain don't sleep like oil weight and put for top. Like, you need to oil your brain back by getting yourself back. If you just finished school or you are naturally somebody who loves reading, these things will come to you easily. Me, I had just finished school, but I still struggle with listening. Can you imagine a person who has finished school for 15 years and has been counting money on the street? That person now will need more time to prepare. And the average person needs to give themselves. If you are enjoying this, give me the emojis. Let me know if you guys are enjoying or I'm just talking. All right. The average person needs about 2 months to prepare for an IELTS exams. 2 months is considered good time to allow you to prepare. Module by module, section by section, segment by segment, to familiarize yourself, to do the mock test, to, give yourself training. In fact, guys, I recommend you guys will even go on my other page, Canada Visa Forum Africa chapter, and post your progress report as you're practicing, so that you can encourage some other people who are also doing this on my platform. Give yourself that training. Do well. Do well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs. Thank you for the emojis. It shows that you guys are following. Okay, Majestic. I like that one there. Yes, I like that one. I like that jumping one there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Guys, prepare well for the IELTS exams. It is in 4 parts. I don't know about the Francophone guys, how they do this. All right. Prepare well. Prepare well. Thank you, Rania, for posting my other page. That is the name of my other page, Canada Visa Forum African chapter. It's on Facebook. Look for it. Go and share your progress report so that we can inspire each other. Okay? All right, guys. Today, I'm focusing more on IELTS because I'm running through the sessions, but I want to make sure when I speak about this, you're good. When you register for your IELTS exams, study. There is a woman on YouTube whose videos I use personally to help my own self. Her name is IELTS Liz. Just the spelling for IELTS. I-E-L-T-S. And then you add Liz. L-I-Z. That's her name. Liz is short form for Elizabeth. Okay, her name is Elizabeth, but she shortened it as Liz. So if you go on YouTube and you type IELTS Liz, you're going to find this woman. She has plenty. She's originally, I think, from the UK or something. This woman is an authority when it comes to IELTS. Her resources are free. Go and use it. Don't rush through the sections. Go through the speaking. See how they do it. Try and take some of their mock exams. She's going to give you a lot of assignments. Do it. You don't need to pay for that. It's free on YouTube. Instead of going to work comedy, use that time now to every day be preparing yourself. Prepare yourself. Thank you so much, Ike Ortin, for posting the name of the woman. That's the name right there on the screen. Houselace. Use her. I use her myself. In fact, if you find any other free resource which is helpful, come and share it on our page so that it can help other people too. At the time when I did mine some time ago, this was the woman whose free materials I used to prepare. It doesn't mean that is the only free material. I've also said when you go to the British Council website for IELTS, right? They're going to put there a lot. If anybody is watching today and you're working at British Council, confirm this for me. They're going to put information there on how to take your IELTS exams, both on your listening, your reading, your writing, and your speaking. Go and use it. Use your data or find a way to get these materials. Train yourself. Get better until you feel so confident that when you go in, you sabi waiting, then they go ask you. You know how the questions and the answers go. There is a way to answer the questions. Learn how to do it and pass well. I keep saying this, guys. Not only would your money go waste if you don't pass the minimum score. Remember, the person who passes so well will approximately accumulate more points than the person who does a weak score on the IELTS. They know they refund money too if you fail. That one, they know they refund. That money, they go to the government of Canada. It doesn't go to the government of Canada. It goes to the exam center. So if you fail them, your money is gone. They're not going to refund one kobo to you. It's gone. You have to pay again. That's why I'm stressing this, because I know some of you will say, now your life savings. You finish and you come and get angry here saying, me way motivated to go do them. Meanwhile, the information where they share. They see my face. And they look at you. You know yourself. You know yourself. All right. Now, Canada is bilingual. Canada is bilingual. The registration fee is approximately $250 Canadian. It might differ from your country. I recommend that you check how the agency that registers these exams in your country. If it's a British Council, please get in touch and see. They might charge you in US dollars. Get in touch and then see how it is, okay? It might differ from your country based on the agency. In Canada, it's about $250. So please check your country and see how much it costs, okay? Now, the IELTS exam, this is a question from Charlotte Dennis Comer. Does the exam expire in a year? Your IELTS exam is valid for 2 years. Your IELTS exams is valid for 2 years. So when you take your IELTS exams, it is valid for 2 years from the time they issue the results to you. You can use it for 2 years to apply again. Even if you didn't get the IT, you can reuse that over and over again. So long as it's within 2 years, okay? All right, the next thing is how to beef up your language score. Aside from your... Remember I said that the best way for you to get more points is to score great and really, really good on your IELTS. There is also another way to... There are also 2 other ways, guys, to increase your score. I'm going to listen to this well. There are 2 other ways for increasing your score. So listen to this. Canada is bilingual, francophone, and English. The IELTS exams is only Otua Chere Sophia Ijoma. I have issues with my writing, you see. So this is where you need to focus. Let me go back to this point. When you do the practice, guys, when you study and you do the practice, you are going to know is your man Mim Chaz. Hi, upcoming African great leader. Thank you. I'm leading my team here. Thank you. All right. Guys, what you're going to find is that when you start taking the module for preparation for your IELTS, you're going to notice where you are struggling. It's going to keep showing up over and over again. The place that you are struggling, you know, everybody has their own weakness. So now only the smart guys will go talk say they are doing well on all the areas. Everybody has their own weakness. Remember my own, my weakness was listening. I did so good on my writing. I did so good on my speaking. In fact, you can tell that I easily work on my accent. I may even sound sometimes like a Nigerian. Sometimes I sound like a Caribbean. Sometimes I sound like a little bit of a French. Sometimes I sound most like a Ghanaian. I have the power of changing my accent easily based on where I find myself, because I believe in language, so I easily learn that. Some of us, we're going to struggle in different areas. Guys, know thyself. As you take the module, keep note and track of the places you're struggling. Your struggle might not be listening. Maybe you're really good with listening. Your struggling might be reading, which is the comprehension part, where reading is basically like a comprehension. They give you a passage, and then you try to answer it based on the same way we did comprehension in secondary school or GSS, comprehension. Then speaking, okay, before speaking, let me go to writing. Writing is an essay where you write a letter. You're going to write a letter, an essay. And the length of that essay is 150 words. Only 150 words, so. And those of you who know 150 words, it's about 15 lines. It's about 15 lines. Or sentences is about 15 lines. That is all you're going to write, about 150 words. Correct me if I'm getting the number of words, word count wrong. I think it's about 150 words. You just have to write an essay. And they are the ones who are going to give you the topic. They will give you a range of topic. You're going to pick one and then you write on it. Now, guys, each and every module or segment requires its own thing. You need to master it. With listening, your ability to listen carefully and answer the question accurately. With reading, your ability to understand the passage, understand the words and the vocabulary there to answer the question. With writing, your ability to understand the question and quickly organize your thought and write an essay, which is easy to read, sensible, properly structured, grammatically coherent, no bad sentencing, clear and readable. The writing pattern, there are so many things that can go wrong there. If your sentences are not coherent, your arguments are not following nicely, if your handwriting, even the devil no feel read them, that's one self is another problem. Some of us have very good content, but our writing skills no good. See, I have written some things here. I hope I could show it to you. It's so bad I can't show it to you. Even me, when I read, sometimes it confuses me myself. I look at it, I say, hey, Choco Millionaire, hey, see your handwriting. Who feel read them? So imagine if I go to my art exams without really working on my handwriting that I want to write. I'm not saying you should go and do tracing like a child, but I'm saying make the effort to make your words clear to read. Because that person where they go mark you, he no go can call you, tell you, say, this one where you write. What is the meaning of that? Is it Kobe, Momoni? Or is this one crayfish? That one you wrote, is it crayfish? They are not going to ask you. Now, wait till you go write, where they go see, where they go mark you. So, make it a point to be clear with your writing, legible. You know waiting to be legible. Huh? Say, anybody with pick and whether not Chinese or they must not struggle to find the word. Some of you, you know yourself, your handwriting more than medical doctors. Your handwriting is more than medical doctors. Some of you, when you write, as if say you got a revelation from somewhere, nobody can read it. We have to decode it. Huh? Different level of decoding. I'm like that. I don't even want to show you my writing. Because when I write myself, I get confused. Some of you know you have very good handwriting. I'm not trying to laugh at those of you who have bad handwriting. But please, if you know your handwriting is not clear, when you are practicing your writing skill, work on that. Nobody is going to ask you to clarify yourself. Come back and tell us what you wrote. Be clear. All right. And make sense. Practice, practice, practice. If you get to the speaking session, this is why I'm going to be picking on all of you. In Africa, none of us have good accent. Ghanaians will deceive themselves. We have better accent than Nigerians. Nigerians will deceive themselves. Ghanaians have far worse accent. Their own no good, our own is better. Sierra Leoneans will think they are even the best. Liberians will think their English is closer to American English. Kenyans will say, oh, in East Africa, we are the best. Guys, so long as your accent is not from the UK, you know the original accent. Hear me. Original English, they come out from England. Yeah, in the United Kingdom. So long as you don't get that one, where they're not born for the way you know learn them well, your accent no good. This one where they talk, pastor, doctor, correction. Go talk that correction for your speaking session and see how they go mark you. Go talk them. I they talk to you. All the Nigerians, they talk correction. I'm not insulting your accent too. It's just a matter of fact that based on your location affects. Have you seen an Indian speaking before? Have you seen an Indian? I'm not picking on anybody. Our ethnicity affects our tongue. This is not an insult. It's a fact. Your ethnicity, your tribe affects your tongue. The only reason why I can switch my tongue is because I connect with people from different countries. So I can easily switch my tongue. When I went for my speaking session, I clearly pronounce my words. Can you hear the words I'm pronouncing? See the way I'm taking my time to pronounce them. So you see, the person was able to hear me out. They're not going to ask you and say, what did you just say? Director? Direct what? Director? Like, no, there is a way to pronounce words. There is a way to pronounce words. The person who is grading your speaking session is going to pay attention to your pronunciation and your ability to articulate or enunciate yourself. So all Africans know this. Don't deceive yourself. None of us have good accent. We can fight among ourselves, Ghana, Nigeria, Gambia, Sierra Leone, whatever. Our accent is whack. That's a fact. All right? When you are going for an official exam, it has nothing to do with your country. It has everything to do with you knowing how to pass that exams. Yes. Go on YouTube. You're going to see how many Nigerians and Ghanaians are fighting over accent pronunciation. It's a jovial fight, though, not a fight that will lead to war. Right? But I'm being serious by saying the speaking session, they are going to check. Look, they are going to ask you a question. The person can ask you a question on anything, right? They can ask you a question about anything. For example, let me ask you a question. Hi, how are you? Hi, I'm doing fine. Thank you. How about you? Then he also responds and say, well, I'm also doing very fine. Okay, so I have a question for you today. Say, whoa, sure. Glad to hear that. The landlady is up. All right, come over. We have unbraided her hair because we're about to fix her hair. Good morning. Hi. This one where they go on YouTube and whatever. So, some people, they are not even going to pay attention to the video. They won't even know that she just woke up. They are going to focus on this. And they are going to say, which can't you come in we get Dr. Way in hair like this? We are going to fix her hair today. So we took it up last night. So before you come and insult me and my daughter for the hair, just know, I've said it in the video already. Because I know all those people who like to major on smaller things in life. Okay. All right. So let's assume that they asked me this question. Can you describe a memorable event you recently attended? Pay attention to the question. Describe a memorable event you recently attended. Not just is it about an event you attended. It has to be memorable and you have to describe it. And you see, quickly, within a short time, you need to organize your thoughts and your ideas. And you must start flowing. I recommend that as you are flowing and organizing your ideas, use pauses, P-A-U-S-E-S, pause. Use small or maybe 2-3 seconds of breaks to organize your ideas than using word fillers. Word fillers. Fillers. F-I-L-L-E-R-S. Hi, the queens of English are even going to say the way I pronounce fillers. No good. Avoid using word fillers. Let me give you an example. I'm going to give you 2 different scenarios of answering this question. One of them, I'm going to do it good. The other one, I'm going to do using word fillers. And you tell me which one looks more organized for a speaking session for an hour. This is a great question. In fact, it brings into mind a lot of recollection. My most recent event, or the most recent event I attended, which is very fresh in my mind and vivid, was a concert I attended in Niagara Falls. It was an event I attended with my wife and a close friend. We went to see a concert organized by a group called Vocal People. We didn't know much about them, but when we saw the ad online about their performance, we kind of feel that we will be going in for a thrill. So we decided to book the concert. We were not disappointed at all. Right from the start to the end, they held us in excitement. It was performances from music to performances on drama to performances that engage the audience. In fact, at one point, they held the hand of my wife, took her on stage, and it felt as if we were actually part of the event. The exciting part of that event is that at the end of the day, we ended up getting some photograph with some of the stars. And we framed that. It left a memory. And I will never forget that. All right, that is my way of answering this question. Let me try answering the same question in a different way. An event I attended most recently will be a concert. That concert was in July last year, and when we went for the concert, it was pretty fun. Now look at the difference between the first and the second one. The first one was more fluid. The organization was forthcoming, even though I was breaking at some point to organize my ideas because I'm human. I need to organize my ideas quickly. I rather use a pause of silence instead of using arms. The use of arms is what is called word fillers. It is called word fillers. Normally, people who use arms are considered to have run out of ideas and they are struggling to find the next thing to talk about. Now, arms actually change the conversation. Arms make a conversation look not so pleasant. So in official communication, it is always advised that you use less word fillers or none, and rather use silence 2 seconds to organize your ideas. You see, I'm not a trained arts person, but in modern conversation, if you talk to me and you use too many arms, now idea where you lack, your ideas are not coming forward. You see? Buhari style. Somebody is saying Martin Buhari style. It means say Buhari no know waiting go talk next. Now you Martin where they talk, no be me where I talk. I just a quote him. It means that he always say people where they talk where they do they don't know waiting they go talk next. So and when you listen to them, the actually ends up killing the conversation. For your artism, train yourself so good so you don't have to use word fillers. If possible, eliminate them and find a way to articulate. The more you practice, in fact, practice with yourself. Practice. Find somebody that is also maybe doing it. Use my other page to create a group that can help you guys practice. Remember, practice with yourself. Record yourself if you like, huh? Turn on your recorder of your phone. Record yourself as you're practicing and play it and play it and play it. Guys, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. You can tell today I'm focusing so much on out. Okay. Now, I said there are 2 other ways to beef or boost your score. One is when you are coming with a partner, a spouse. Say you are married and you think that you genuinely want to come with your spouse and you think that your spouse also has credentials that can boost your points. One of the ways you can boost your points is when your spouse also takes the IELTS exams and does so well, and then your spouse's points goes to add to your own point. Anytime your spouse does the IELTS and meets the requirements or the basic requirements or even more for a language test, it automatically increases your own points for your language too. So people who are planning to come with their spouses, please note that this is one of the ways you can boost your point. Your language test of your spouse can boost your own point. Remember, we say language test must be passed. So if you know, say your spouse, no feel read, no feel write, I beg, make you no go drag and go British Council. Now that day where your divorce go come, make it stay home. If you know say your husband no be that tight for exams to go right, don't go and force. If you want to force them, make sure you have your divorce ready. Anyway, all right, those whose spouses can pass can easily get more points if you add them to the application. I recommend that if your spouse has good credentials to help, instead of your spouse doing an independent application, say that you're coming with your spouse. All right, it helps you to get more points, especially when it comes to language tests. That is one way to also boost your point. Now, another way to also boost your point is to use your ability to speak French to also boost your point. Some people, especially in West Africa, those of us from English-speaking West Africa, we normally take French in school. Some of you may have done so well with your French. Some of you may have even gone ahead to do further studies in a place like Alliance Française. in most West African countries. If you trust your Francophone skills and you think that you can do well there, you can even study and take that exams too. You see, the trick about that exam is that if you pass it, it automatically gives you more points automatically. Just because you are showing that you are bilingual, speaking French. What if you don't even pass it? It still will boost your point just because you attempted that exams. I'm not saying go and score 0. I'm saying that those who don't pass it, but they hit a certain, they could still be considered at getting some additional point because at least they took that exams. Language is a second language test in French can help you. The reverse is true for Francophone guys who are doing the TEF, but can also prove that they can speak English and can take the IELTS exams. Even if you don't pass it completely, it can still boost your points when it comes to your express entry. So use your bilingual skills, English or French, to boost yourself. I personally can study the Francophone exams and pass it. Just because I can read French, not so good, and I can hear a bit of French. I took it seriously when I went to do it in Ghana. I took it a little bit more serious. Right? My French teacher was really, really good. Those of you who say, "Vous voulez français," my French teacher don't die. Now here where you go see the importance of that one. See, I'm Canada and bilingual. Canada and French and Francophone. Sorry, French and English. So use them well. Use them well. Okay? All right. What other videos on how to come to Canada through express entry? I don't know of any other videos except from ones on language test. Basically, any other thing you need, I'm going to share them here. But definitely, what other videos on language tests I don't know of, apart from Outlets. But if you do your own search on YouTube, you can also come across other materials that are probably good. But remember, use the British Council website to find more materials. Yeah, all other information I'm going to do my best to share. But remember, you can also do your own research too, okay? Raymond Dame, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. We are doing fine. You can see my daughter is here, huh? Yeah. I feel like going to wear her hat for her before people come insult me for keeping her head like this. Let me go and wear a hat. Should I go and put your hat on for you? Yeah, 1 second, please, guys. Coming, okay? Thank you. All right, I've taken care of her. Okay, so yeah. So if you can do a second language test in a different language, which is if you are doing English, then do you have the ability to do French? If yes, it helps you. If Olufemi Michael, please take time to answer my question. How soon can my wife invite her associates or son? She's currently processing her undergraduate student visa. okay? If she's already processing it and she's already putting the application, she cannot update her application. She has to wait for her to get that. My suggestion, remember, I'm not an immigration person. Whatever I share is just what I would do, okay? My suggestion would be that let her get it first. Did you say, let me understand your question. Did you say she's applying for her visa to now come into Canada, or she's already in Canada? If you can clarify that for me, Olufemi, if you can clarify that for me. If she's applying for her visa to now come to Canada and she's already submitted it, I will say wait for her to get a decision first. If she gets the visa and she arrives in the country, then she can apply to bring the child. How soon? As soon as possible. She can apply anytime soon. The most important thing is, remember, she needs to prove she has the means to take care of the child, okay? And you can definitely add other documents to show that without the mother being around, it's tough and difficult for the child to concentrate. You can write a letter and all of that so that the visa officer can look at your documents, okay? There is no timeline. You can apply as soon as the person is in Canada. If she hasn't submitted it already, she can add a child, and she just have to show proof that she can take care of the child while still in school, okay? She needs to show that financially she's capable of paying for her own living expenses and the child's living expenses while she's doing that. So this is a deviation. Mr. Michael, just to be clear, I don't like deviating from my topics. When I'm on topic, I don't deviate. So it is out of respect that I responded to your question. In the future, any other questions that are non-related to the topic will be ignored, with all due respect, okay? Okay. All right, so language test, you can boost it if your spouse also takes the exams. And number 2, you can also boost it if you take the other language or bilingual partner language as well. So if it is English and you can take French, it helps. If it is also French that you are taking and you have the ability to take English, it helps. This is not to say those of you who cannot take any other language should go and force yourself. It's a tough thing to do within a short time. But those of you who have some proficiency and some foundation already, or are very fluent, right? It definitely will help you if you do that, okay? All right. Eze Collins, Chibuzor, Express Entry is for higher education level. How do you people with secondary school come to Canada? I have a video on that. People with secondary school, how do you come to Canada? You can come through college. Please watch my video on colleges, okay? She is worried about how long it will take her to have her kids in Canada after she has gone to study. Is she already in Canada? I'm not going to repeat this question, Mr. Michael, so please make sure you answer. If you don't type the full response, I will ignore it when it comes next, okay? Because I want to make sure I finish within a certain time. All right, so please tell me, is your wife currently in Canada or not yet in Canada? Number 2, has she already applied for her visa, or she's yet to apply for her visa? It will help me to really clarify your question for you. Please put all of this in a single message so I can respond to that, okay? All right, I want to make sure I don't distract myself from what. Today, we are not talking about school. We are talking about Express Entry, guys. So if you know me clearly, I do not like deviating from my topic. Some people would just say, I talk about everything. I want to make sure I stay on topic. Okay, so if you can come back by giving me the answers, the answers to the question, I will be more than happy to answer that, okay? All right. Mohammed Hussein says, your voice is not clear. It is vibrating. Is it true? Let me know if it's better now. Is my voice better? Can you guys hear me better? If you can hear me, please respond. Can you guys hear me better? Can you guys hear me? Anybody with a question on school? I did a live video yesterday where I answered most of the questions. Please go back and watch that. Aquilina, your voice is fine. Aquilina, my sister, you've been missed. You've been missed. Welcome. I'm so delighted by just seeing you online. It is well. It is well. Thank you. It is not true. Your voice is good. All right. People are saying my voice is good. I can continue. All right. Guys, so you can tell today we focus so much on the language test. And we said that you can boost your language through your spouse, your own performance, and also by taking on another language test. So if you are an English person, can you do the French? If you are a French person, can you do... I have a friend. I have already told him to try applying to this one. That's why he's in Benin Republic. He speaks good English. He can write good English, yet he is a French guy. So somebody like this guy, he can easily prepare himself and take the IELTS in addition to the Francophone exam, and it's going to boost his points. Okay? All right. Thank you guys for confirming that my voice is good. Mr. Michael, if you can come back and give me the information, I will be more than happy to answer your question. Okay? Your wife, has your wife already applied? Is she already in Canada? Has she, just tell me at what stage she is with the application so that I can get back to you with the answer on that, okay? Anybody with any question on school, please hold those questions at the moment. I did a live video yesterday. I recommend you go watch it. Most of your answers are already in that live video. If your answers are not there, feel free to catch me again when I come live and I'm talking about schools. I definitely will always come back and talk about schools because I know many people would have missed it or they have more questions, right? But do help me. Let's not deviate on the topic, okay? Let your listening be on the topic for the day so that we don't distract people who are also keenly listening to this one, okay? All right. So we finished talking about the language test. It comes with a cost. You need to prepare well. You can do some few things to boost it. It is the one thing you have the power of control to change the numbers to affect your score by putting in a lot of effort. All right, let's talk about the other things you need. Now, the moment you know that you have your language score and then you can easily get it, and your express entry score shows that you fall within that score that is used, what next? The next thing is to also find out that you can organize your documents to support your claim. Basically, they are going to do an assessment of your education. Guys, listen to this. They are going to assess your education. They won't just take your word to say, oh, I have a master's degree, I have a first degree, I have an HND. They won't just believe you and just say that. They are going to assess it. Assessing means that they are going to check to see whether the quality of that education meets the Canadian standard. The assessment of education falls under the section called ECA, Education Credential Assessment. ECA, Education Credential Assessment. All right, your question has come. Let me check that, Dr. Olufemi. Thank you so much for your time, sir. She's already applied and she's yet to move to Canada. We have 2 different school admissions for January 2022. We are considering for her just to prepare to get a visa now. So I'm getting, you said she's yet to apply. She's yet to move to Canada. But it has, so the last sentence suggests that just preparing to get her visa now. So from what I get there, she hasn't applied for her visa. If she hasn't applied, she can add your son or your kid to the application, that she's coming with your kid. All right? She just needs to demonstrate that financially she has the capacity to pay for her fees, her own living expenses as an adult, which is estimated to be an additional 10,000 Canadian dollars for 1 year, and the living expenses of the child. If your child is below 14, about 4,000 Canadian dollars for your child too. She just needs to show she can take care of your child. If she has already applied for the visa, she can't do anything about it. She has to wait for the outcome of the visa first. If she gets it, congratulations. I would say the moment she arrives in Canada, she should try starting the application to apply for your child to also come and join. Aside from you proving again that she can take care of your ward while she's in Canada, I would say that you need to probably write a personal letter of purpose of travel and why your child is traveling, to detail and convince the visa officer that her mother's absence from the child is affecting her maybe in different ways, right? These people are very emotional. So if you write a letter that appeals to their heart emotionally, there is a good chance that they are going to approve the visa for your child to come, okay, and join the mother. All right? Thank you very much there. Guys, so you've checked your score. You are within the most recent score. Your language test, you know, familiar about it, you know how to approach it. What next? What next? The next thing is to know the other stages that come after this. Basically, after you do these basic things, and you know you can take the language test, and you know you can do well, and you know your score is within, this is just a preliminary. You haven't started. This is just the preliminary to check your eligibility. You haven't started yet. Checking your language score and checking your express entry score doesn't mean you've started. It only means you are just checking to see whether you are there. Now, what follows after that is the official process now. The official process. What next? The next thing to do is to go and create an express entry profile. And anytime you hear me, thank you so much, sir. God bless you. And this was in caps, Mr. Olufemi Michael. Thank you so much as well. All right. Guys, the moment you know that your score is good for express entry, you can take the language test. What next? Now you must officially begin the application. So whatever I'm going to say is the official process now. I won't go into the details of all of them. I'm going to only tease you by showing you the steps. And then on my next session, I'm going to talk details step by step and even walk you through how to go through the process. Okay? Now, the next thing or the first thing to do to show that you want to actually submit yourself to the government of Canada as a candidate is to do what we call creating a profile. Creating an express entry profile. It is basically where you officially go and create an account with the Canada Immigration Commission, and you tell them that, you know what, guys, I checked my score, I think I'm there, I know I can take the language test, I'm ready for that. Now I want to put myself in the system now, so that when you guys are ready to call, if my number is in the number pool, call me. That is what we call creating a profile. How do you do that? In my next video, I'm going to talk about how to create a profile. I'm going to walk you guys through step by step how to create a profile, how to answer the questions and all of that. Basically, by creating a profile, you just go on Google and type how to create express entry profile. Some of you are really smart. You're going to listen to this. You're even going to start doing it yourself. How to create an express entry profile. I recommend that you do not start creating a profile until you know your score is within the score that is good. Say 400 plus. Number 2, I recommend that you do not create a profile if you know you cannot take the language test. Why am I giving these 2 suggestions? The moment you create a profile, you're going to be in the database of the Canada. The moment you create a profile and you submit your information, they are going to be in their, you are going to be in their database. And they are going to give you 60, you see, there is a window of time for you to submit your documents. When you create your profile, they are going to give you a number of days to submit your documents. Of course, they won't just tell you to submit your document right before you create, as you created the profile. When you get to a certain stage, they are going to tell you to submit your documents. I'm going to get to that. But I'm saying that make sure before you start creating the profile, at least you've checked your score and your ability that you can easily pass a language test. On our next session, we'll talk about how to create a profile. But those of you who want to get ahead of yourself, please go on Google and type how to create express entry profile. There's going to be a bunch of them. Look for the one that looks like it's coming from the official Government of Canada website. Why am I focusing on that? Because that is legit. All other ones may be coming from immigration, travel, and tour agencies who are trying to use your information and gather money from you and collect money from you. The official Government of Canada website will always have gc.ca in it. gc.ca, which simply means governmentofcanada.canada. governmentofcanada.canada, gc.ca. So if you find that, then it means that that one is coming from the official website. In case you don't want to go and struggle, wait so that we can all do it together on our live session so that you can see the process. It's not going to be a straightforward, simple ABC. It's going to ask you a lot of security questions. You need to create a password. You need to do so many things. So if you don't trust yourself, wait and let's do it together. But if you trust yourself, go ahead and start it. If you get stuck, then you need to wait for us. When we come back, we're going to go through that process. When you create your profile, what next? You're going to fill out the information now. Basically, they are going to ask you all the information that you use for your score when you were checking your score. They are going to ask you those same questions again. Where are you currently applying from? You're going to say from Canada or not from Canada. Which country? You're going to say the country. Your date of birth. Which province are you planning to move to? Are you married? Is your wife coming with you or your spouse coming with you, your husband coming with you? Are you divorced? If yes, you need to state that. They might even ask you for a divorce letter or a document showing you are divorced if you say you are divorced. They may ask you for that. If you say you are married, they will ask you for proof of marriage, either a customary marriage, photos, anything to show you are legally married to the person, photos or certificate to show you are married. They will ask you a lot of questions. They will ask you to provide proof of your work experience. How many years of work experience? What type of work was it? What is the title? And that is where they are going to ask you to enter the exact NOC code that matches your job title. What is a NOC code? We talked about it in our last session. The NOC code is the code that is assigned to every job in Canada. NOC simply stands for National Occupation Classification. NOC, National Occupation Classification. Every job in Canada has a code. And based on the code, they can tell whether your job is considered relevant or not relevant. They're going to ask you to provide a NOC code for the kind of job that you currently do or have done in the past. So if you are a banker, what kind of banker are you? Are you a manager at a bank? If yes, look for the NOC code that says managers and go through and select the one that says bank manager. And then write down the code that matches that and put it there. Without the code, they won't continue with your process. You need to tell them the code. I also recommend that, in fact, when we get it, we're going to talk about that. Not only must you select the code, you must make sure that the duties of the job that you are using as your profession of experience, make sure that the duties you are currently performing in your African country or wherever you are applying from, make sure that the duties almost match the one that is on the NOC code duties too. You know why? Because they are going to try and compare the job to see whether it matches what they do in Canada. What if it doesn't match exactly? Make sure it is similar to it. So if you are a manager of a public relation company or say a public relation aspect, look for a NOC code for public relation and select the category out of all the jobs for public relation or PR that matches almost what you currently do. You know why? They're going to ask you to show proof of that job, that you really do that same job and you perform those roles. You need to enter your number of years, your job title, the type of jobs you've done, the code that matches it in terms of matching the Canadian code contest. And then you need to also tell them your level of education. Are you an HND holder? Are you a medical doctor? Are you an optometrist? Are you a dentist? Are you a surgeon, different pediatrician? Are you a professional contractor, engineer, software programmer, right? If you went to school for this, any education that you claim you did, you must show proof. You must show proof that you went for school for this. They're going to ask you for documents to confirm that. That takes me to the session called Education B. That takes me to the session. Francis, I've seen your question, but I'm going to ignore it just because it's unrelated to the topic for the day. Okay, sorry about that. All right. That takes me, when it comes to education, whatever you say you studied, your level of education, guys, you are going to prove it. You know what it means? They will ask you for approval through what they call Education Credential Assessment, ECA. Write it down. Education Credential Assessment, ECA. They don't trust you. They don't trust your level of education. They know they trust them. They will have an independent organization verify your education. There are so many institutions that help verify international education. The most popular of them that people use when they are doing their express entry is called WES. W-E-S. Somebody should write it down if you don't mind. WES. W-E-S. What does it stand for? World Education Services. World Education Service. World Education Service. I think it's services or service, one of them. Services or service. WES. World Education is the most commonly used one. Why do people use it? Maybe they are a bit cheaper to use them. Number two, their turnaround time is very quick. World Education Service. Thank you, Rania. World Education Service. It is the most commonly used one. I figured out the many reasons why people use World Education Service to convert or to assess their educational credential is because, they are because of the following reasons. One, their turnaround time for confirming your education credential is very quick. turnaround time basically means that all other institutions may take a bit longer, 1 to 4 months to work on it. With World, I understand that they are within 35 business days. Within 35 business days, when you apply to them that you want them to check your credentials for you, they will get back to you within 35 business days. 33 or 35, one of them. So they are much quicker. That is why a lot of people use them. How does they work? Is it free? Do you use them for free? Like, can you just go to them and say they should check your credentials for you? It's not free. There is a fee to it. They are going to charge you some money. I'm not sure of the exact amount, but I believe it's going to be within the $200 mark thereabout. So it is also not free, just like IELTS. It is not free to do the educational credential assessment. You are going to pay a fee to this agency to assess your credentials academically. How do they do that? Everything is online. You're going to create a profile with them. You're going to apply. They're going to ask you to upload your transcript and your certificates. So if you went to a secondary school, they will ask you for that. If you did a degree, they will ask you for your final transcript. They will ask you for your certificate. They're going to ask you to upload your certificate, PDF, maybe electronically. You upload your documents. They are going to verify all your documents. They're going to do their own background and check whether you are genuine, you know. They're going to look at JIDA or Mobile Ali's documents and see whether this person is genuine based on what it provided. They're going to run their checks. So they basically will ask you for your academic documents, your certificates and your transcripts. And then basically within 30-something days, they would have come back to you and given you a report showing that we were able to confirm your credentials. We can confirm that they are up to this standard, and this is a confirmation that this thing is true. And then they are even going to convert and put it on a certain scale globally. And then with that document, you're going to attach that credential that Wes has given you. You're going to attach it to your credentials when you are doing your express entry, right? You're going to upload all those documents there, okay? David Indubusi says it's 35 working days for West. Thank you so much for confirming that. So I know it is the most commonly. Guys, listen to me. Don't go and do a West if you haven't checked your score to know that you can apply for express entry. Don't go and even do your West if you haven't checked your ability to see whether you can take a language test. Now money where they go give away. You better go buy bread for kids if you just want to go and do it for fun. It is not free. It comes with a cost. You must make sure you are ready before you go through that process. All right. So basically, they check your academic credentials. And then what next? You basically fill out all the information that they need from you about yourself, your family. Is your wife coming? Is your husband coming? Are your children even coming? What is it? Please give me 1 second. Okay, let me get it for you. Sorry, okay? Okay. No, please eat it. Don't put it anywhere, okay? Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Temple Michael Zimoha, you are sharing an information. Physicians, apply.com for medical doctors. I'm not sure about that. If you can clarify what you mean by apply.com. You are a midwife. I would say I don't have an answer for that. I don't know your level of education aside from your midwifery, your practice, your years. Please check your score. If your score looks impressive and you can provide a proof, please go through it. Anybody who is interested, remember I cannot give you a straightforward answer as to whether you can get it or not. I recommend you check your score. Your score is going to be the indicator whether you are eligible for it or not. Bakudia Collins, I hope this answers your question. Okay, so check your score and see where you stand first, because there are so many things about you that I wouldn't know through this single text message comment there. Okay. Now there is also a portion of your application called settlement funds. Settlement funds. Somebody asked a question like this about it the last time. I didn't answer it because I knew I was going to talk about it. Settlement funds. Every applicant, the main applicant for an express entry, need to prove something we call settlement funds. What is settlement funds? It's basically proof that this person has enough money to take care of themselves when they come to Canada. There is a requirement for an applicant. If you are applying a loan, you are not coming with anybody. If you are applying a loan and you are not coming with anybody, then you need to show proof that you have at least some money in your bank account, which can be confirmed by your bank financial institution before you apply for your express entry. You don't need to have the money now, but at the time before you submit your application, it's one of the documents they're going to ask you. They're going to ask you for financial documents to show that you are financially capable of taking care of yourself when you come to Canada. Now, this is the breakdown of how it looks. For somebody who is applying just for himself without coming with anybody, you need to show proof that you have at least $13,213 Canadians in your bank account at the time when you submit your application for them to consider you. We are not saying that you need this at the time when you are creating your profile. After you create your profile, before you hit submit, you need to show that you have financial documents that show that you have at least $13,213 for just yourself as the main applicant. They are going to verify that. Your bank needs to actually write an official letter on the letterhead confirming your funds, whether you owe money or not, your balance, and this should be at least 6 months of history of transaction. They're going to verify all of this. I'm going to talk more about it when we get to that portion, when we get to the profile. But at least you need a settlement fund. Without your ability to show that you have enough money to take care of yourself, they won't consider your application. They won't invite you to apply. Now, the amount tends to increase if you are adding some people to you to come with you. For example, if you are coming with your spouse, it jumps from $13,213 to $16,449. Somebody who is coming with a spouse doesn't need just 13, they need $16,449 in their bank account, confirmed by their financial institution and documented and submitted to the government before they can apply. Now, if you tend to come with your spouse and maybe one child, then you are going to need $20,553 Canadian dollars in your bank account. If you are coming with yourself, your spouse, and 2 children, which is a family of 4, you need $24,553. And then it goes on and on. The more you're the size, the more the amount is required for you. But one person is $13,213. A spouse and the partner coming will be $16,449. The more you add your case, the more it gets. Also note that if you add more people to your express entry, it tends to decrease your point. The only time you can increase your points is when the other people are coming to boost up your points by also taking out exams and adding some credentials, right? But if the other people are just children, 14, 13 years, and they are not taking an out, it may decrease your points when you add more people. The people who are more successful with this are single people who are doing it by themselves, or if you are even married, you could say that you are not coming with your spouse, you're doing it just by yourself. Your spouse is not coming with you. That is, if you think that your spouse is not going to boost your point, you can choose to come alone without your spouse. And then when you come in, you can now apply to get your spouse into the country. Is it easy? Yes, it's much easier, even though it can take some while. But within a year or so, you could get your spouse to come with you. All right. Then after you meet this, so basically I'm just giving you a gist of the settlement funds or the proof of income requirement. We'll talk more about it when we are filling the form 2, okay? That is where we talk about how the letterhead from your bank should be like, what information must be on the letterhead, how much should you have in your bank account, how long should your transactions be. We'll talk about all of that, okay? All right. Then basically, when you submit all this information, you need to wait for a document from the agency. You submit the application, and then you wait for a document called the ITA, Invitation to Apply. ITA. It is the most important document everybody is looking for when they are applying for an express entry. An ITA is an official communication or email sent to you from the Canada Immigration Commission telling you, congratulations, we've decided to consider your application. Now we need you to provide us with further particulars of documents to confirm XYZ. Now, The moment you get an ITA, it's an indication that you have officially been accepted to apply. ITA is the most important thing everybody looks for when they are doing an express entry. Invitation to apply. Until you get an invitation to apply, it means that your score has not yet caught the eye of the commission yet. All right? So you keep praying that you get an ITA. The moment you get an ITA, bravo. It simply means gather every outstanding documents. Give it to them genuinely. There is a high chance you are on your way to Canada already when you get the ITA. The only time you are not going to be making it through is when there is a problem with your documents. Now, when you get your ITA, what are the other things that may be outstanding at this point? One is a medical test. You will be required to go do a medical test if you are the main applicant. They are going to do a medical test on you to check your health, from sexually transmitted disease to a few other things they're going to check. It is not outright to say if you have a sexually transmitted disease, you won't get it. There are some key things they look in your report, your medical report, to determine if you can get it or not. I'm not going to go into the details of this, but there has to be enough grounds for inadmissibility. All right. When I pause like this, it means the word is trying to roll my tongue and I'm being careful. There is something called grounds for medical inadmissibility. In other words, they don't just deny you based on your medical report of maybe this and that. It must meet a certain criteria defined by the Canada High Commission. There are people who may have certain diseases and they will still get it. But of course, you need to have done, if you have any health condition, you see, they will analyze to see whether the impact of your health will be a burden on the Canadian government and the taxpayer. They are going to analyze it. And so anybody who has a health issue, a record of a health issue, right? You can start going online to check medical inadmissibility grounds for Canada permanent resident or something. You're going to get a lot of information on that. Don't rule yourself out. There are many people who still get it with conditions. Don't rule yourself out. Do a little bit more research before you start shooting yourself out, okay? So you basically will do a medical test. The moment it comes out and says you've passed, congratulations. They're also going to take a police report from you. Police report. This is basically to make sure that they are not allowing a criminal into the country. Anybody with a criminal record. A criminal record will impact you. A police report is required for an applicant and anybody who is coming with this applicant, provided you've lived in any country for more than 6 months. So if you are Nigeria and you've been staying there for more than 6 months, you need a police report from Nigeria. If you've ever stayed in a foreign country for more than 6 months, you need a police report from that country too. So those of you who are in UAE, India, South Africa, but you are from Ghana, any part, Kenya, anywhere, so long as you stayed in this foreign country for more than 6 months, you are going to need a police report from that country too to clear you, to show that you have no record. You need a police report. It has to be an official police report. And then after that, what next? They will basically tell you to go do your biometrics. What is that? Basically going to the a designated office where they process. They will give you a location. You will apply online. I think there is a fee of about $100 and something for the biometrics, and they go take your biometrics, like some few fingerprints and stuff like that. And then after the biometrics, you submit everything to them. You just sit and wait, and you keep your prayers going on, and then you are waiting for the final document or email from them. That email is basically what we call a COPR email. COPR. What is COPR? Confirmation of permanent resident. Wow. Wow. At that point, when you get this email and it starts with a heading, COPR or confirmation of permanent residence, start singing congratulations, some dancing, some playing some Kojoinchi music, Daddy Lumba music. Start playing some nice gospel song or whatever music you enjoy. Start dancing around, start throwing yourself around, and start playing some Lagbaja music, or enjoy yourself, right? Or Osadibe music, enjoy yourself and play some good music and enjoy yourself. It simply means congratulations, you're a permanent resident of Canada. It's been confirmed. COPR. It simply stands for confirmation of permanent residence. It simply means the journey is ended. Now, what next? At that stage, they are going to ask you for your passport. They are going to tell you to go to a certain location to go and submit your passport so that they can put a visa that allows you to arrive in Canada and receive the official permanent resident document. at the airport, right? I got that document myself. Every permanent resident applicant gets that. My wife got it before we became permanent residents too. All right, let me pick my daughter up. She's beginning to whine around now. Okay. It's good. Take this. Okay, go on it. That's fine. Okay. Ooh. All right, I'm going to be ending the session very soon. Back with the call is, does Canada run lottery programs like US? Unfortunately, no. The lottery version of Canada is what we call the express entry. I believe the express entry is based on merit and education assessment and the contribution of a person. The lottery visa doesn't require those things. Anybody can get it at all without education or anything. So we don't have a lottery visa in Canada. What we have is the express entry, which is similar to that, but it's more based on merit than just based on chance. Lottery is based on chance. Express entry is based on merit and credentials, right? So that's the difference. We don't have a lottery visa. So if you ever see on Facebook or anywhere people say Canada is doing lottery visa now, scam, it's fake. Okay, it's fake. Rania Wanbasting, thank you so much for putting their confirmation of permanent residence COPR. The moment you get that, you're on your way to Canada. Now, there are people who are watching who may have gotten their COPR. At least I know 2 people who have gotten their COPR and they are just waiting to arrive in Canada. Okay. And these people are not even in Canada. One is from Ghana, the other is from a different country too. Okay. Guys, this has been a focus on the steps to go through in order to get your express entry application down the way. We haven't exhausted all of them. I just gave you a preview of all of it. What I have actually gone into detail so far are just 2 things. 1, maybe 3. 1, how to check your score. We did that last 3 days. Number 2, the language test. We talked about that in detail. Okay, we talked about that in detail. And then finally, I gave you a gist of the other steps like settlement of funds, your English, your education credential assessment, and then other outstanding documents that will come in. Next meeting, we're going to talk about how to create a profile. I'm probably going to walk you through step by step so that you guys can learn how to do it yourself. Remember, don't joke with this information. If you need to rewatch the video to get information, please do. The reason is that if you don't, then you're going to pay somebody to do this for you. And they are called travel agents. I don't hate travel agents, but I think they only work when you don't know how to look for the information, okay? I recommend you follow me on YouTube. Type Choco Millionaire on YouTube. You're going to see my picture. You're going to see that I have about 60 videos, 60. I have about 60 videos there on these topics. This one is going to be there on YouTube. Go and subscribe. Drop your questions there. I normally prefer that the questions that come after my live sessions are either directed to me on YouTube. It's easier for me to respond to them there. If you send me a direct message, there is a good chance that I may not answer to it quickly. The reason is that I have over 1,000 messages in my DM on Facebook. You're going to be in a long queue. So if your message has been waiting, please use your YouTube area to contact me rather. It's much easier for me on YouTube to comment on the questions than to do it through the DMs. If you're not comfortable asking your question on YouTube, that is fine. You can still DM me, but just know that it will going to take a while for me to respond to that. All right. The other way is to catch me on my live videos. I did a live video yesterday on education, how to come to Canada. All your questions about education, please go and watch that. Let me take some of your questions at this moment, and I'm going to make sure the questions are related to this. For a family of 5 that already has a COPR, which province? Sorry, can you come back? Your question is quickly gone. Can you come back with that question, please? Please, the cutoff point at the moment, please go check that. I gave you that to you as an assignment. Go and Google it. Most recent express entry cut point. You're going to see the answer. Please, is there any age limit to apply for Canadian visa? For Canadian visa, there is no age limit, but for express entry, your age will impact you. The reason is that express entry targets people who are younger. Express entry targets people who are younger. So the older you are, the less points you score under the age segment. For example, somebody who is below 30 years will get more points than somebody who is older than 30. Somebody who is more than 50 years is obviously approaching pension. The chances that you'll be struggling to get to express entry is higher just because of your age. Age is a big factor when it comes to express entry. The younger you are, the better it is. It doesn't mean if you are 40, you can't, but just know that your age will draw you back a little bit. All right, let me take the other question. How do I apply? Watch my previous video and watch this one as well. Did they do express entry? Always is done every 15 days. They hold a draw every 15 days. The draw is held every 15 days. Okay, so does it mean you can't, as an electronic engineer in Canada, if you want to learn to do school, like skill labor professionally, you can come here, so long as you can prove, just know which one works for you. Express entry is for the person who knows they meet the requirements. Use my video to check if you are eligible. If you think you are not eligible, then of course you can explore other means, such as coming to school, or you find there are so many ways to come to Canada. There is no one way to come to Canada. There are so many ways. The most important thing is to figure out which one works for you. For a family of 5 that already has the COPR, which province is the best to settle? Good question. This is from David in the Busi. Now, if when you did the application, you did not select a specific province where you are supposed to move to, when you arrive and you get your documents, you can easily choose any province that you want. The province of choice is something that is based on you. Remember, it means you are starting your life now. I will say that, look, connect, like the 3 big provinces where the opportunities are in Canada are Ontario, British Columbia, and Quebec. But it doesn't mean the other provinces don't have opportunities. In Alberta, for example, there were a lot of opportunities there in the oil and gas sector, right? In other places, if you're a truck driver, you can also get. So for me, it's not about the province per se. It's about what your skills are. So what kind of skills do you have, and where do you think you will be appreciated with that kind of skill? If you are an engineer, you need to find a place where they are paying better for engineers. So it always depends on you, your skill set, and what you do and where you want to practice. All right, those things go into those kind of conversations. If you are a licensed professional like a doctor, do you get your credentials verified by a specialist board? I don't know much about that. I would say you should start a process. When you get to that portion, they might tell you where to ask that. I'm going to also do some digging around to find out more about those in the specialized field, like healthcare, specialized field, and then I'll come back with an answer. AK Chico Confidence. Please guide me on how to migrate to Canada. I'm a graduate electrical engineer. Watch my old videos. You'll get an answer to that. David Indubusi with a medical coding skill. I wouldn't have an answer because I don't know much about medical coding. Is this a software thing? If it is a software related, then the 3 provinces that are the top, such as Ontario, Quebec, or British Columbia will be a good place for you if you are a software person. These places tend to pay more for software engineers, okay? But remember, in Quebec, language could be a barrier if you don't speak French. It could be a barrier, okay? If you are moving to Quebec, it is more easier for somebody who already has some foundation in French to move to Quebec. All right. All right. What are my chances if I'm a business manager with only secondary school? So long as you can prove everything, that you have that education, and you can prove your length of managing and your experience level, it could help you. So never say never. Give it a try and see what your points are. All right. This is from Emmy King Henry. Okay, Casey Quay, Casey. Can a business administration postgraduate student gain postgraduate work permit in Canada? Yes, I answered that question yesterday on my live video on how to come to school in Canada. Please watch that. All right, any other question? In the absence of any other question, I'm going to be ending the session to take care of my daughter. If you have any questions, kindly drop them. Kindly drop them before I end the session. Round, round, round. The wheels of the past go round and round. Yes. Good. Any other questions? If there is no question coming in the next 1 minute, I'm going to be ending the session. I have answered the question for Williams Kofi. Can't see what is a cutoff point. There is no fixed cutoff point. It changes every time they hold a draw. They hold a draw every 15 days. So your best shot to keep updated with the points that is used is to always Google what is the most recent express entry draw. You're going to see where the points are. Okay, there is no set in stone concrete cut-off point. It changes every time they do the draw every 2 weeks. So be updated by checking that. Can you get a good job based on your profession as an electrical engineer? Yes. So long as you're in Canada, this is a hot demand area. You can get a job easily. Yeah. Please watch Hot of Hairdressing. Remember, do you not need more? Yeah, remember, you don't need more money, you need more wisdom. Thank you for reminding me. All right. Becky. Poisha Barnes, please, can someone use tourist visa to work permit? I'm ignoring that question because it's unrelated to the theme for today. All right. But let me just be, I'm going to be, since there are no questions, let me ask that. Tourist visa is for visiting. You cannot work with it. You can't get a work permit. It's a visiting. You cannot. There is nowhere that a tourist visa allows you to. No country allows you to work as a tourist. There are only some countries that are allowing people to come in there and work temporarily because of the pandemic. These are the UAE and some few other countries. But in Canada, you cannot work with a tourist visa. You are just a tourist. You are touring. How do you work now? You can't work. All right. Just like in US, your B1, B2, which is like your visitors, your tourist visa. You cannot use that to go and work. They won't allow you. They won't give you a permit to work. Okay? Because the moment you begin working, it means you don't have an intention of visiting. You have an intention of staying. All right. Okay. Jida Omobolaji Ali. I'm just close to 50, but I want to move. So Jida, look at the many things I've shared, from education, which is an easy way. You can come here through school. If your age is definitely going to be. Your age is going to be a factor when it comes to express entry based on the fact that you're approaching pension. But education, there is no limit on your age. If you come to a college, there is no limit on your age. Listen carefully. There is no limit for coming to a college. You can be 50, 55 and still come to a college. The most important thing is that you can show you can pay your fees and all of that. I know a friend who is about 50 years old and came here last year to come to college. He's here from Ghana, right? So education has no age limit, but express entry, the age is a factor. Okay, express entry, is it for every country? Yes. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. Let me read Dr. Olufemi's question. Oh, sorry, Olufemi's Michael's question. Do you advise we apply for the case visa with her study application now, or we apply after she's gone with an emotional letter to talk about? It all depends on the strength of your financials. If you are having strong financial support and you can show them that you are not lacking money, it's easier to come with your child. But if you know that money, your bank statement, your assets and things like that are going to be a problem, it's safer for your wife alone to come and then your kid come later on. Remember, in Canada, the most important thing is the main person coming in. It's easier for every other person to come later on. So long as you legally come to the country, you can easily bring your other family members, okay? The most important thing is for the main person to come in. So assess your financial situation and you know where you are financially. If you think you have crazy money, and you are well-to-do, go ahead and feel free and include your child if you want. And remember what I said, other documents like letters that you write could also be a very big role player, okay? All right, guys, thank you so much. This is where I end. I need to go take care of my daughter for the day. Follow me on YouTube, Choco Millionaire. I have about 60 videos there. Please drop me a review on the page. I'm going to show you guys how to quickly do that. So basically with a review, what do? You basically type Choco Millionaire to go to my page. Give me 1 second. Guys, so when you go to my home page, this is what you're going to see. When you go to my home page on Facebook, this is what you're going to see. Now you see the section that says reviews just by the home. You click on that button. It's going to ask you whether you want to recommend my page. Do you recommend Choco Millionaire? You can either say yes or no. If you don't like my page, feel free to say no. But if you're really getting value from this place, you can say yes and write something about what you like about my page. It helps other people find my page as well. All right, this is the one thing I'm going to appreciate from you, aside from your good comments on my live shows. The reviews are things that can also help a lot, okay? All right. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be sharing my journey on real estate, my journey about my family. Those things, I don't share them here. Like, you know, things about me, my wife, what we do, how we live in Canada. You'll find them on my YouTube channel. I don't post those ones directly on my Facebook, right? So subscribe to my YouTube channel, Choco Millionaire, and ask me questions there. It's easier for me to connect. Thank you so much for joining. It's all right. I know. It's okay. Let me just sign up. Okay, I want to sign out. Guys, this is where I end today's session. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I don't charge anything. I'm not an immigration consultant. I'm just a hustler from Africa, from a slum, and God has blessed me with some information that I want to share with you. If you don't use this, there is a chance you're going to pay somebody thousands of dollars to get the same information. Do your own research. Don't take whatever I say as a holy grail. Don't take it as a secret. Do your own research on top of that and confirm them as well and help yourself with it. Remember, you don't need more money. You need more wisdom. Remember, you don't need more money. You need more wisdom, because wisdom makes a man's life easy. God bless you. Bye-bye. 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 Amen. She's shy, huh? She's closing her eyes. She knows she's on camera. She's good at saying bye-bye, huh? All right, guys. Bye.